Okay, so there's my personal vehicle, and you can see that it's parked under that palm tree. I am not in Tennessee anymore. Actually came down on vacation back to Tampa, had an old client call, wants me to rehab this job that we did 15 years ago now. They sent me an email back in August, and I'm like, well, I moved, but I'll be in town in November. And they said, well, will you do it then? And I said, sure. So here I am doing work. I don't have any of my camera stuff, so I'm just using my phone. No tripod. But here's a before. We're gonna keep some of this stuff, but get rid of most. And if I have time, I'm gonna trim up that Walter viburnum back there. But just transplanted that one right there. It had kind of grown out into the root suckers had set up a new plant, and they just hadn't gotten to it. So anyway, I'll show you an after. So here we are with the landscaping installed. We're gonna go ahead and remove that and that one right there. Kind of interfered with what I was hoping to do here. So I'm gonna try again. Homeowner came out during the middle of the last video. So anyway, thinned this out. This is bulb bean. It had escaped. See, the homeowner put this little fence around it. I guess they have some animals using it as bedding at night. So put that little fence up, keep animals out, and it had escaped behind it. So cleaned that up, filled in a couple of bare spots, thinned up the blue days, and then took everything out in here. This was blue days and bulb bean throughout this. It had been overrun with torpedo grass, so took that out. Put in these new plantings, like I said, or started to say, that's coming out and that's coming out. They kind of interfered with the aesthetics. Originally the homeowner wanted to keep them, but we're gonna take them out. So just put in some Pacific juniper, a coontie, transplanted that African iris, thinned it out and transplanted it. I forget the name of that grass. Begins with a C. Sorry. Indian hawthorn, dwarf ixoras, more of the grass, more of the juniper, some crotons in the back, and then spread throughout with polka dot plants, and then one last coontie right there. Had to keep this area low so they can get in and out of the driveway. But yeah, so this is planting. We're gonna trim this up while we wait on the mulch to show up. We also transplanted that one and that one. They had spread out through into here with the roots. So just dug them up, put them in there. They'll do just fine. Those are Walter viburnums, by the way. All right, let me knock this out. All right, so here we are, finished up. Got some granular pre-emergent down under the mulch. So there's the pile of debris. It's quite large. Had to really thin out those viburnums. They are pretty sickly, so we did a hard pruning on them. They'll bounce back. It's Florida, so there's no freeze coming anytime soon, so they'll bounce back before the end of the year. So again, there you can see all the plants are Pacific juniper, polka dot plant, transplanted iris, crotons, ixoras, carrot grass, or whatever it's called, Indian hawthorn, truck coming, more polka dot plant, more crotons, another transplanted iris, carex, juniper, the coontie there. There's one on the other end, and then we left. Sorry, there's a bunch of cars coming by. We left some of the existing vegetation in those two beds and this one. And then back in there, you'll see more polka dot plants. So there you go. The vacation work is complete. So anyway, there you go. She's done. Good morning. We're checking out the skating rink for the birds and their empty feeders. I have to fill those up today. But yeah, that is solid. There's no water beneath that. That's a good 2 inches thick. Inch thick of ice. Anyway, horses are over there doing their thing. Frost on the ground. Got the dogs out. One's way down there. You can see her. And then, of course, Miss Violet's right there. Anyway, off to work. So as you can see, I'm using the equipment trailer today. Never was able to get that lock off the enclosed trailer. Been gone for a week or so, excuse me, not sure if the water got in there and it got frozen or what, but yeah, it ain't coming off. So, today's job. That's a soil cultivator for a dingo hooked up to a Wacker-Neuson SM100. So I've never used one of these before. Used the dingo and the ditch witch, but never a Wacker-Neuson. So foot plate, you got joysticks up top, right side controls, your bucket or your up and down functions, the attachment function, whatever. The lever next to it, you see that there? That's your hydraulic flow. So for this cultivator, it's going to control forward and backwards on the tines. And of course your left joystick is forward, back, left, right, yada, yada, yada. So anyway, the downside for everyone is that I have this camera, well, this cell phone camera. No tripod, no GoPro today. Not sure if I'm able to hook this camera up to anything to try to record what I'm doing, but I'll give it a shot. So this drum is supposed to help capture rock. The tines will help bury it. So we'll see how she works. All right, let's get started. As a reminder, this is what we're working on. Trying to get all this graded out and leveled and looking good and try to bury some of this rock. So in the spring, we can come back and reseed it. So initial thoughts on this thing. Not good. See, the tracks are caked with clay and mud. It won't go deep enough for the drum roller to do anything, because if you sink the tines deep enough, the whole machine starts, moving to the left or the right. There's just not enough ass in the machine to get down to a good depth. I mean, this is, I don't know, maybe an inch or two, maybe, but not enough to get the drum to do anything. I adjusted the drum all the way down and still, it's just not working. So I'm going to take it back to the shop and play with it. I have it for the rest of the day. If I can get it to work right, I'll bring it back tomorrow and just rent it for an extra day. But see, I have all this to do still, and I'm just not happy with it at all. This is not what I was looking for a prepared bed. So I don't know if it's me or the machine. Probably both. But I know the machine doesn't have enough ass in it, even with my big rear end on it, to do what it needs to do. So back to the drawing board.